we are almost ready to tune into our friend at Tabol Brewing. They are waiting for us, and well, let me finish up this beer so I can taste the next beer with them, which is a Tabol Brewing collab. Boi Croccante. All right, well, I think we go live to Tabol Brewing. Let's see if we can get Rob and Travis. Hey, Rob and Travis, how are you guys doing? Hey, you guys are
Yeah.
live.
Can you hear me?
We have a few thousand viewers watching you
No, I
guys.
can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Travis, but I can't hear Jensen.
Host says 15 seconds, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's we have to have 15-second delay.
Okay. In case I cuss.
All right, I can hear you, Travis and Rob. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, what's up,
Yeah,
Jensen?
absolutely.
Hey, what's up, man? Well, I know you guys really well. Do you guys want to take a second to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm the owner of Tabol Brewing, Travis, and well, that's it.
I'm Rob. I'm the head brewer at Tabol Brewing.
Awesome. Well, so a couple months ago, I went down to Richmond and we did a collaborations, a crispy Boi Croccante, right? That we are
Yeah.
so happy how it turns out. It's a delicious beer. So I know you guys started 2 years ago?
Yep, 2 years
Yeah.
ago, February 1st. So we're also celebrating an anniversary. So
Well, happy anniversary, my friend.
yeah,
Thank you.
Well, can you tell us some more about Tabol Brewing? Because I know you guys started out with focusing on wild ale, sour, barrel aged sour. What's going on with Tabol right now?
That's right. We started with all wooden barrel fermentation, all wild yeast cultures, which was fun. We just got clean tanks, and we're going to focus a little more heavily on pilsners now. Our wild program's not going away, but that's just where we want to be. So look for really good pilsners and well, anything of that nature in the future.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Rob, can you tell us more about your background before you joined Tabol Brewing?
Sure. Yeah. So I started at Hardywood in late 2011, and I worked there for about 2.5 years, and then I went over to Ardent Brewing in Scott's Addition in Richmond, and I was there for 4 years. And now I've been at Tabol for about 2.5. I started at Tabol about 6 months before we opened up. So I've been commercially brewing for almost 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you are one of the OG at Hollywood, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, so we are very excited about your whole change about focusing on lager and pilsner, and this is extremely excited for us because we are all about crispy boy these days, right?
All right.
Easy drinking.
Oh, yes.
That's what we want, right? So
Yeah.
what happened to 2020? Like how you guys pivoted and how you guys survived the whole pandemic? Can you share a little bit more with us?
Yeah, better lucky than good. We had planned to get stainless steel fermenters and our own tabletop canning line before we ever had a hint that there was going to be a pandemic. So we got that up and running right before everything got shut down, and we were able to distribute cans. We were still learning. Some questionable stuff went out, but shoot, Pilsners, we're slaying it with those right now. I think we've got 3 on, a Czech, an Italian, a German, more to come. All done the right way, too. So,
Hopefully.
Yeah,
That
sounds,
was a
sounds
big
like a good
pivot,
plan to
worked out.
have a good lager plan going because I'm looking at Rob. He definitely could be the star for Richmond, Virginia, right? Be the lager boy we talk about.
Got to get all
Right,
those
he's gotta
tattoos
get-
on me.
Yeah,
that's
sleeves and, that's tattoo.
Yeah. Well, so Tabol Brewing been 2 years. I know you threw a big party last weekend. So what's on the menu on your anniversary celebration?
We had everything on the menu for our anniversary celebration. First of all, we cooked a whole pig and some other stuff. All the food was free, but our board, our beer menu was chock full. So, like I say, three pilsners on there. New England IPA, which you've got to make those. They're delicious.
Yeah,
A couple of
yeah, pay rent,
sours
right?
from our yeah, a couple of sours from our wild program. Both were fruited though. Rhubarb and a what was the other one? Oh, prickly pear, cactus, and
Yeah.
lime juice. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think this question is specifically for Rob. So
Okay.
what is exciting plan coming up? What should we expect from Tabor Brewing?
Well, we're going to be doing like Travis has said. We're kind of focusing on pilsners and lagers right now. Um, I had intended to brew it this past week, but my yeast got jammed up with the bad weather. So it'll be early next week. I'm going to do an American lager um, with a cool idea, a cool label idea. Um, my grandfather was a professional baseball player.
Whoa.
So he played Major League Baseball for 13 years, but I never got to meet him. But I have all his cards and all that stuff. So we're gonna put something baseball related with him on the label. Call it Granddaddy Bill's Pills, and have that be like a 5% kind of American lager idea. And then Travis and I had spitballed a little bit. I think we're gonna do like a dark Czech type lager coming up. We haven't really um, expounded upon that too much yet, but I haven't written a recipe or anything yet. But we're gonna kind of go that route. We've got a lot of open tank space right now, so we're gonna try to fill them all with lagers and pilsners
Yeah.
coming up. So that's pretty exciting. I love doing that stuff. So
So
We do them the right way too.
You think
Yeah,
the
we do
ratio between
decoction.
like lager, pilsner versus other stuff, like are you thinking about more like a 60% lager or 80% lager and everything else?
I think probably with the next batch of beers coming out, probably be like 75% pilsners, and then um, kind of throw a few lagers in behind that as well. 25%, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, you guys have wonderful tap room right there. I love your building there, and the location is a little bit tricky to get to, but I love your tap room there. So
Yeah.
what normally events you guys putting there?
What was that?
What kind of events that you normally have at the tap room during the normal time?
Yeah, we actually had a bunch planned for this summer, but we didn't get to do any of them. We were gonna do a big Pilsner festival. Um,
Yep.
I don't know. Anytime we can get a special food pop up is awesome, just because it keeps it interesting. You don't want the same food every time, so anytime we can do that. We did a fruited festival in the past where it was all fruited beer. We'd love to be able to start doing that stuff again, but that's it. That's the key for us is events. Because you're right, like our neighborhood right now is coming up, and it's not. We don't get the foot traffic of Scott's Edition, but we've got a beautiful tasting room, and anytime we throw an event, I don't know, any excuse to have fun, right?
Of course, of course. Well,
Yeah.
so I actually cannot wait to dig into this our collaboration, Boi Croccante. So
That turned out so
I,
good.
so Rob, I want you to tell
Yeah.
us more about the story of the brew day.
Oh gosh. So it was let's see, we brewed this December 9th, and man, we did a single decoction, and after we got all the mashing done and we had transferred the wort over to the kettle, our kettle broke, and the heating elements it's an electric heat kettle, and the float that sends the signal to the heating elements, the wiring, I guess, broke. So we got all the word over to the kettle, and we couldn't do anything with it. So I don't remember how long it was. Was it like 3 or 4 hours before we were able to get an electrician in to help us fix the float? But it was definitely a nerve-wracking moment because we didn't know if we'd be able we didn't know if we'd have to dump it out. It was kind of a nightmare. Really bad timing.
Yeah. We were scrambling.
Go ahead.
We were scrambling to go ahead and get to get an electrician over. We were scrambling to get someone in to take a look at it for us because we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So we slid a little propane heater underneath the kettle to try and keep it warm enough just to stop anything bad from happening. We were worried about it.
It was definitely a long day.
I think it was like 14-hour day.
Yeah, it turned out
by
great. So yeah.
Well, I hope, Rob, you take notes about the temperature and the whole process because I hope you guys can brew this beer again. It's delicious.
Yeah, I got them right here.
Well, I just gonna blame Rob for jinxing it because today is so easy, the smoothest brew day ever. I didn't remember you say that.
I know, it's just me and my big fat mouth, right?
Hey, can we dig into this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let me go get one too.
I'm gonna start pouring this guy into this beautiful glassware. I'm not gonna pour all of them because I have a whole day long events. I'm gonna do it slowly. All right?
6 hours. That's right.
Yeah. So we'll have to have Rob to tell us about the ingredient and also the tasting notes, aroma. What should we expect before I drink this one?
Sorry, okay, I just got back with the beer. So what are we talking about now? Sorry.
We would love to have you tell us more about this beer ingredient, what tasting aroma, what should we expect when we crack this open?
So we used for when I'm doing pilsners, I use Weyermann floor malted Bohemian Pilsner malt. It's for brewing lagers and specifically pilsners. It's kind of I've found really the only way to go. I think it's great malt from Germany, from Bamberg, Germany, and a little bit of acidulated malt for getting the pH where we want, and we did like I said before, we did a single decoction to get that classic, European Pilsner kind of flavor going on. And then we used Tettnang hops in it to get it the bittering where we want. But specifically, we used Sapphire hops for a light dry hop. I think we did about 4 pounds of dry hop. So when you crack it open, you get that that classic Italian aromatic quality, light pilsner, really good body because we used also a device called a spunding valve, which during fermentation, once the gravity gets down to a certain level, this spunding valve traps the residual CO2 in the tank, and it gives it this creamier kind of more full carbonation to the beer. It's not done with a carbonation stone, which is where you just infuse CO2. It's the actual CO2 produced by the fermentation, and it really makes a big difference as far as mouthfeel goes.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy this beer and it's as crisp as possible. Like, I'm starting with this the whole day. I can drink this whole day, man.
That's one of the easiest drinking beers I've had in a long time. Like, Crispy Boy is right. It is crisp. And the Sapphire hops on that, like the citrus zest aroma that comes off of that, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite beers.
We nailed the dry hop on this. It's definitely right where we wanted it. So this is definitely one we'll do time and time again, I hope.
I guess my question for you is, if you want to brew this again, do you have to turn off your heating element for about 6 hours and put the propane gas tank and burn it again?
I think
I
so.
think that might be the key, man. I think every time moving forward, it's just going to be a 14-hour brew day.
Well, I think it's worth it because this turned out delicious and is exactly what I expect. And also the label and everything just kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
real happy
That
with
label
it.
was
Real happy
fun.
with it.
Yeah. Well, so now we're tasting this beer. What we're gonna do is like we love to see the inside of your tap room, brewery. So we're gonna do a brewery tour. This is gonna be
All right.
virtual, and we'll let you guys talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. So these
So,
paintings are great. Sorry, Rob. Rob's mom, she's a painter, and she added in all the glassware and the table labeled bottles in there.
That is good.
These are paintings we found in pawn shops and whatnot, just laying around. And she made it look like the bottles and the glassware were all originally there. And it makes us
Yeah.
laugh. You wouldn't notice if you just, were walking by it.
yeah, she's a phenomenally talented artist, and she does oil and canvas, and she just added those right in there, and they like Travis said, they look like they've been there since the paintings were original.
There's the snow. That's from the last snow, not this most recent one. We're getting a lot of it down here. But
Yeah.
this is our big outside deck, which is really nice, especially in the springtime. Not good weather for it here recently, but a little fire pit down there too. Beautiful.
Awesome.
There's our
I didn't
bathroom.
know that.
Oh, our supply
For
closet.
employee only?
I took this clip as a joke.
Well,
the supply
it
closet.
sounds like we have to visit that place next time we are there.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we just got accolades for our bathroom, so I just took clips of that too. But they do look good. I mean,
Do we win nice bathrooms in Richmond?
Yeah, it's like one of the
Travis,
best bathrooms
yeah.
in Richmond.
Yeah. So that's reason enough to come right there.
Yeah. Forget
Yes,
the beer. It's the
everybody,
bathroom.
go to Richmond, visit Tabol Brewing, bathroom.
Use the
Hang out in the
bathroom. while you're
bathroom.
It is beautiful. I loved it last time when I was there. I mean, that was not my intention to visit Tabol Brewing, but I happened to use it and enjoyed it.
Come for the beer, stay for the bathrooms.
You really did a lot of bathroom shots, Travis.
Hey, Brandon edited this. There's our bar. We'd like to keep a lot of plant life in there. It just feels good. Fresh air, too. Plants are always good to have around. Oh, there's the restrooms again. Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
That's our little lounge area. I really think this
Awesome.
place came together really nice.
Oh man, it's gonna
Pink
turn into a jungle
flamingos.
soon, right?
Yeah, hopefully. If we
Sabrina
get
had to
enough light
stop
in
collecting plant.
That will never happen. Oh, this is cool. This is the glassware that was originally in the building. So John Bivens blew most of this glass, and he would make this for laboratories all throughout the country.
So what
Yeah.
was the building
Scientific
before you
lab.
guys opened the brewery?
Sorry?
It was a glass blowing plant. That's where who Travis was just describing. He had his this was his warehouse, and it was I guess a glass blowing kiln. And like Travis said, he blew all scientific glass for laboratory use, and I think he blew for Philip Morris before they became
There's
Altria.
Ooh,
Lucre
I see the side
faucets.
pour faucet.
Yeah, you have to have that if you're going to focus on Pilsners. There's our little, that's a 3D printed tap handle, by the way.
Oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you had to tell us more about the faucet because we briefly looked into that. Now it looks like you have both of them, right? Left
Yeah,
and
I
right.
got two because, I mean, if we're going to have a lot of Pilsners, just more than one at any given time are just going to demand being on a side pull faucet, which is great. Maybe it's gimmicky, I don't know, but I love it. If you fill the glass with a really dense foam and you pour the beer underneath of it, they say no oxygen touches it, the foam lasts longer, and it really does change the flavor. So I love them.
So it's gonna be more like a cappuccino looking pilsner, right? You have a lot of foam and some beer and just smooth like mouthfeel and everything.
Yep, that's right. Very velvety, very
And you
smooth,
said-
which is already happening anyways with our natural carbonation and using those spunding valves. It's already kind of velvety, and then you add that on top of it. It's going to be a real different experience.
Oh, look at those tang. Can you, Rob, talk about those tang?
So that's the brew house, and that's the famous kettle that broke on the brew day. And those are our fooders. So those are all full of our wild cultures and bacteria. But we have a 5-barrel brew house and 4 10-barrel fermenters and 2 10-barrel bright tanks. So every time we brew, typically for like pilsners, I'll do 3 turns on the brew house to fill up a 10-barrel tank. And those are some of our wild barrels there. Actually, those are our clean barrels. Sorry.
Yep, separate room for the clean barrel fermentation.
Yeah. There's
A
our
little canning line back there.
two-head canning line. That's what we have been doing using that for the wild stuff. All the grain storage there. There's some wild punch-ins.
Man, we
Sink in a
we are
fridge.
seeing every single corner of the brewery.
I didn't want you to miss anything. You got to see it all.
I really appreciate it. We see more of the bathroom than the brew house, maybe. Hopefully, have longer.
We're catching up now. We're getting a little more footage of the brew house. I don't know where we spend more time, to be honest with you, the bathroom or the brew house.
Well,
Definitely bathroom.
while we're still watching some of this space, maybe we can fill some questions because I know a lot of people have started to ask some questions. So I have Derek next to me. He actually reading all the comments, and also people feel a few questions. So maybe we can start to do that now.
Of course.
So
Yeah,
Derek,
absolutely.
is that the cool questions that we got here, or anything that people have specific for Rob or Travis?
Everybody seems to love those majestic couches, in particular in the bathroom. They want to know if you're going to have a flushing couch anytime soon.
Soon. I don't know how that leaked out or how they figured it out, but yeah, soon. Cat's out of the bag now. This is our laboratory.
Awesome.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. All right. So one question for you guys. So you are making so many different Pilsner lager, right? So I know you guys just released a German Pilsner for your 2nd year anniversary. We'll love to have. There you go. That one I know is like in the tank for like how long?
9
I was in
weeks.
there for like 8 or 8. Yeah.
So Rob,
It,
tell us the difference between a German Pils and Italian Pils.
So the Italian Pils is a little bit lower ABV alcohol, and it's dry hopped. The German Pils has more of like a German hop quality. We used Hallertau and Tettnang in that, so and it's a little bit more. I think a little bit more bitter. There's Travis making a horrible pour. And
wait, you'll see when I'm done. You'll see.
there we go.
Wait
But we
for
used to
it.
say they're very similar. The Italian is just like I said, a little lower ABV and more dry, aromatic as far as the dry hops are concerned.
Cool. So we have a question about the name of the brewery, right? I have people
Right.
pronounce it Tabol. So tell us some history or what's the story about your name of the brewery.
I wasn't there for that, so that's all Travis.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's a long story with very little payoff. It made us laugh, and that was it. Uh,
Well,
we didn't
that's
want
good enough for
to
me.
get we didn't want to get sued for trademark infringement, so we used a made up language called Esperanto, and we took the word for table, like a table you sit at. We took that word and we misspelled it to make it sound like table again. Again, I told you very little
Okay.
payoff.
And also
But we
your
laughed, and then
logo is a upside down table, right?
yeah, the logo is an upside down table, which you can see right there. And then for this German guy, we used a clawfoot table and turned it upside down to make it classy. It's a fine Pilsner lager, after all. It's got to be classy.
Yeah.
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 All right,
All right.
you're about to
That's
see
cool.
why I
I
poured
mean,
it
the
so
story is
horribly.
simple enough. Awesome. Let's check. Is there any specific question for?
There's a question about this particular pills. How did you get a hazy pills? Is that a cold crash thing? Is it a temperature thing? Is it a yeast thing? How does that work?
The Italian
Sorry.
pills?
Yeah.
Is this in reference to the Italian Pilsner?
Yeah, yeah. The Boi
Yeah.
Croccante.
Yeah, we just pulled it early to get extra aroma and flavor out of it.
And that's why it looks.
Italian
Is that the question for
Pilsners.
hazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Italian
Well,
Pilsner.
it looks like we got another questions. Like, how much fruit puree is too much for fruit puree if you want to do like a fruited sour or something like that?
There's no such thing.
Well,
Look
the
at
trend
that.
seems to be
Look at
like
that
you
four
buy
of
a
the
fruit
world.
puree, repackage them, add a little beer, $20 4 pack.
I mean, like the way we do it, I mean, it varies, but if we're using puree, typically I'll do like for a punchin, which holds about 110-ish to 120 gallons. I think usually we do like, let's see, about 160 pounds of fruit puree, and that seems to be a pretty solid ratio there. We could probably go a
That's
little
on the
higher,
low
but
side these
couldn't
days,
go.
too.
Yeah, that's kind of on the low side. Um, Recently, we did a batch of black raspberries that's still in the punchin now, and I think we did 200 pounds of actual frozen. Well, they thawed out black raspberries. So that's been in the punchin now for about 2 months.
Oh, wow.
So it's getting close to being time to go ahead and package that up. So we'll come ask us in 2 months, and we'll let you know how that one turned out.
All right. Well, I can't wait to try it because like all the fruit sour that I try at the brewery there, it seems to have a touch of the fruit flavor, not like overly puree fruit
Yeah.
or like overly sweet. And it is a great way to like infuse the fruit in the sour, but not overdoing it. So I
That's
really
right.
enjoy that kind of sour because you get the tartness, you get the sourness, and then also a touch of the fruitiness of it. So it has been done beautifully. Good job, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
from the beginning, we weren't trying to go over the top. Most people now they'll do a kettle sour and then they'll load it down with puree, but the whole idea was to get as much complexity as possible. So we would ferment in a foeder and then transfer into a punchin and put a light amount of fruit into it to get as much barrel flavor, fruit flavor, and then flavor from the actual mixed culture as possible. And so we were having fun doing that, but
We've also gone back. We've been changing up our changing the base beer recipe for the fruited beers. We were doing it a certain way, but I wanted to add a little bit more body to it, and I've thrown into the grist, thrown a lot more oats and flaked oats and red wheat to kind of just up that body, make it softer, rounder mouthfeel, and to make it a little bit more hazy as well. So we just changed that up. I think I just refilled refilled the foeder maybe a month ago or so. So it's got a ways to go, but we'll hopefully help change that up a little bit.
Awesome. So we got a quick question here. How
Yeah.
you, Travis, and Rob get started brewing industry? Like, what inspired
Yeah.
you to like start a brewery or start brewing? Let's go for Rob first.
All right. Yeah. So I started. I was in accounting and banking at the time. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I got kids and a screaming baby in the house. Um,
We're
so
stuck at
I was
home
in.
because of the ice storm.
Yeah. So I started home brewing. I just, back when I was doing like banking stuff, I love to drink beer. So one day I was leaving the bank and I was like, man, what 6-pack am I going to get on my way home tonight? And then I started thinking about maybe I could just like make my own. It can't be that hard, right? And there
can be that
used
hard.
to be at the time, there was a homebrew shop in Chester, Virginia, which is about 30 minutes south of Richmond. And that night I drove down there right before they closed and bought $200 worth of materials and ingredients, brewed a batch that night, had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have like a wort chiller or anything like that, so I gave it like an ice bath in our bathtub, and it took like 6 hours just to chill it down. I think I was up till like 3 or 4 a.m. that night. But anyways, it fermented for about a month, and it turned out phenomenal. It was a pale ale, and I was like, man, I am hooked. This is definitely what I want to do. But there was like one brewery in Richmond at the time. It was Legend.
Right.
So I continued homebrewing for about a year, and then Hardywood announced they were going to open up. So I just kept going by Hardywood and annoying the hell out of them about giving me a job, and somehow I got hired. Still not sure really how that happened, but I got real lucky, and they gave me an opportunity, and haven't looked back since.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. That's a great inspiration
Yeah.
for many homebrewer out there. One day you
Yeah,
might get hired by a
absolutely.
new brewery, right? Rob, Travis, you have 30 seconds.
Oh man. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I was born here. I grew up here. Richmond's a beer town now. It was pretty early on too, and so I started getting gigs working for distributors. So I was delivering beer and wine as well, among other things. And then I started doing sales. And then I worked for Ironheart Mobile Canning. Which I think if you don't know who they are, they roll in canning machines into various breweries all over the East Coast, and they can up beer everywhere. So that was a great way to get started, meeting people. And then in general, Richmond's a small town, and if you're in the beer industry, you almost know everyone in it. And after that, after I'd done so much and knew so many people, I figured I knew enough people to help me get something started. And so we went for it, and step by step, we reached a point where we couldn't turn back. We had a building, we had a brew house, and we had to start making beer. So, yeah.
Well, awesome. Hey guys, I really appreciate your time to join in today and also help us to celebrate the 3rd-year anniversary by doing this collab. This is a wonderful
Happy
video. Good
anniversary.
job, both of you guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll go down there and see you guys very, very soon. Okay. Well, let's
Hey,
cheers,
please.
buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.